Alright. Alright, pick up the last episode. Now, I was kind of talking about episode 22 before I was interrupted to go for dinner. So, they have the dinner party, and Joshin himself basically brings a vase full of flowers, multicolored flowers like purple, red, blue, and of course we see the new concubine's father, where of course, Joshin's like smiling, being very polite. Now the thing is, he doesn't like the new quarters much at all. Not really. This is more, he describes it as basically a political thing, the fact she's involved with the Emperor. Also, it's revealed that the current Emperor does not share the same taste as his father. His father had a taste, had basically for women who are much younger than he is. The son, of course, does not have the same taste. He's basically interested only mostly in women around his age, which is smart for him to do that. So, and by the way, also, Mao Mao doesn't have to participate in the garden party this time. She's not getting dressed up like before. But this time, of course, she basically sleeps on, well, Mei Mei's lap. I think it's the same servant girl from the Verga brothel. So, then we're joshing about what's actually going on. So, apparently how the flowers could be blue was that originally all these flowers were white. And they all got dipped in dye, not the petals, the bottom. And of course they cut out the black part of it. And that's it. Yep. And of course, basically they're walking back afterwards, and they just happen to run into Momo's father, Lakin. And she's like, "Why don't I play a game of what looks like to be the Chinese version of checkers?" Which before then she had two options. Basically, basically stipulations. If he wins, Momo comes home with him. If she wins, he buys a courtesan. And he's like, "I'll take that bet." Yeah, because basically, well, then of course apparently, then also she's decided to poison some liquor, and she loses twice, drinks to him, she drinks the last one, which apparently it's bad because it's actually alcohol, and he passes out for the third round because he loses. And then he wakes up in the Verga in the Verga Baratha house, where apparently the lady who runs the place doesn't recognize him. Despite that, by the way, also it's shown here that when you see from his point of view, with the exception of Momo, a lot of the people he sees, he only sees them as pieces of go, because the game like to play. Apparently, he has this ability where he just cannot see people's faces. He can make out an eyes and mouth, but not much else. And he says, "Oh yeah, that's probably the reason why he's sort of obsessed with his own daughter, in a way." That's what Momo is basically describes it. So he's like, "Ooh," he's like, "Oh yeah, he does know Mei Mei." Actually, not maybe it's not a little girl, maybe it's one of the courtesans. So like, you think, "Oh, may I buy her out?" And she's like, "Okay." And of course, basically, the old lady is like, "No, don't buy that one," because apparently she still doesn't recognize him, despite the fact that she probably knew him from over 10 years from the series. And then, okay, so it's shown in a flashback that he actually knew Momo's mom, where he played Go with her a lot, and of course, eventually gets his military stuff, and eventually these two slept together, and then her price got devalued, and she got syphilis, and apparently she sent a finger to him when he was away for 3 years, and a little tiny other small piece, which Momo was actually her finger, who she chopped up when she was a baby. Yep. So, and of course, basically the granny's like, "No, don't come in here, this is for sick people only." And he's like, "This court isn't for sale. I'll buy her." Yep. And, well, he buys Momo's mom. And of course, they sort of celebration. She puts on a dancing outfit, goes a little dancing on the rooftop. By the way, her leg is still bandaged ever since like episode 19. Actually, leg got bandaged up episode 20, but it's been like this since episode 19. So then she dances. Josh himself shows up and says, "What are you doing?" And nearly falls off the roof, well, basically the wall of the palace. Saves it. Apparently, because she has a very high pain tolerance, she couldn't feel the fact that, her wound opened up, so he proceeded to carry her. First, he just picks her up, basically under his arm, jumps down, and I'm like, how does that not hurt his feet doing that? And then carries her right to get her leg bandaged up. Excuse me. And Mo hopes basically she's going to see her father again because of the fact she doesn't like him very much at all. But that kind of in a way is the season. Of course, also they eat some food while they're at it too. But that's kind of the season in a nutshell. Yep. Final thoughts on season 1 of Apothecary Diaries. Quite interesting season. Though it's kind of interesting though, the last few episodes, not much of puzzles. It's more about advancing story than solving puzzles. It's like if you watch the show, we don't read the light novel, it's probably wait, why did the puzzle stop at episode 20? Yeah. The reason because of light novels. That was simply the reason. But great season. Great overall. I will be going to season 2 when I go break for my next series and work on what should be, well, we'll talk about that when I get back to Kamen Rider. But yeah, that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share notifications. I'm going to go ahead and do 1, maybe 2 comic corners, depends on time. And then I'll maybe, if I don't get a chance to do the first and second one, I'll probably do the second one after my stream tonight. Okay? Thanks, you. Bye.